The Commanders have went through their second OTA session. That's public. Has been open to the public. Saw Debo Samuel today. Saw Jaden Daniels, Mikey Samerstill. The team. Talk to us about the team, man. Like, comment, subscribe. We're on the road to 7,000 subscribers. We're exactly 43 subscribers away from 7,000. Just hit that like button, that share button, subscribe button. Let's get to that 7K, man. Let's talk about today's live stream, and let's wrap, man. Sorry about the lateness. It's just life be lifing. I had my midweek service, so thank God for y'all being patient. Welcome back to the PSN Command Knowledge. Your boy Tom K Tech back with a video. I'm going to go to God. All God's right now. God's open doors and favorite offers in the Lord and pretty much today's video. I'm about to Washington Commanders. So I get too far today's video. No Bible verse today, but a very clever rap bar by a Christian rapper I listen to. Shout out to Lighthouse. Shout out to my boy Kuyi, man. My man Kimba. Shout out to Kimba, man. He got me hip to Lighthouse. And he has a song called Perfect Timing. And the line is when I look at myself, I look at my main op, it must be my flesh. So your main opposition is your flesh, man. Your fleshy desires, your main op. Not Satan. Your own flesh is your main op. Outside of Satan, of course. But yeah, a quick nugget. But get right into the OTA breakdown. So, we'll look on X. See what guys posted today. Joe Jr. had a very high praise for Quan Martin. Said he could be potentially be one of the best safeties in football. I love Quan, man. So I completely agree with that with Joe Jr. We'll look at his presser in a little bit. But this is Debo Samuel working with Mikey Samuel. I'm gonna mute that because I don't need no copyright. So you see that conversion, working on route releases. He said, I might go this way, so you should swing this way so you can cover me. He's getting some friendly pointers. Just work on releases. Now I ain't throwing no passes his way, just working on releases. That's pretty much about it with that. Let's look at some other things real quick. See Corey and Jaden. This is Tyler Biotish and Brandon Coleman and Drills. Like they're playing guard center together, so that's interesting. Frankie Lou against initial pass rush work with David. I don't want to read everything. I don't want no copyright. Help work on his bend. Okay, I can see that. Some good bend by Frankie. That's some good bend in the pass rush and work by Frankie. We will have a joint practice with the Baltimore Ravens and also with the New England Patriots. So that is something to keep your eye on. Dan Quinn is really impressed with the offseason Deron Payne is having. Big year, need him going to year 8. He's going to essentially a contract year, so he wanted to go out there and ball out. So I've been really impressed with your offseason. Michael Gallup was at the facility, but not practice today. Don't know why that happened. Don't ask me no questions. Of course, Terry McLaurin and Larry Tunzel and Lawson Lattimore were not at the OTA session. Keywords voluntary. Wizards head coach is hanging with Adam Peters and Dan Quinn. I don't know what the heck the Wizards head coach is doing. He should be fired. They won like 18 games this year. Why you still have a job is beyond me. Today's scene what it look like. Scroll up a little bit to the presser from Dan Quinn. Let's react to that, shall we?
All right. What's up, everybody? It's good to see you guys. It's fun to be back on the field with the players. It really is. And so got a chance to hit that yesterday and today. And all of the things, that we do, it's really developed that practice. And so that could be, from the end of the game of clock today, prior to, we did a umpire alert, where it's a 10-second runoff and starting on the referee's wind and the specifics that go to that. And so those winning time moments for us, like these are excellent teaching times for that. And this is really where the coaches have to nail those. And over again, so many new guys that are with us learning it. And even for the ones that have done it before, to the standard of what we want. And so it's a kind of a cool time for teaching. And I enjoy this time of year to get to know the new guys and what they're about. So let's get rocking. Can we get the guy Gatorade back here, please?
Since there's no hitting, nothing live at this point, can you get a good sense of where you guys are with the D line and how that's coming together, that group?
No, not from the physical stance. I can from what I've seen, meetings, drill work, the skill sets, that part to go, any potential new wrinkles that we wanted to do, how would we feature guys? But as far as the physical part, you can't. What I can say is on both sides, we've really made an emphasis for them on the strength and conditioning and really putting it into those spaces. Even so much in the early part of the off season, they trained together. So it was sometimes you see an offense will go at this time and defense will go at that time. We had some of the big guys training together to really push it together. So we enjoyed that too.
And you guys seem really loaded on the interior, especially. Do you value interior pressure more than pressure from the edge, or?
No, I would say some of it, Nikki, on defensively specifically is we'll find some roles as it goes to early down run player to, more of a pass rusher and who would do all the downs, like something like Duran, first down, second down, third, all of them. But there'll also be some specific spots for emphasis on the pass or emphasis onto the run. And so that's what I'll look forward to doing through the preseason. We'll get a couple of practices against other teams. And those practices help too, because as coaches, we can kind of, hey, let's really emphasize something, and then we'll do that and find some matchups and do that. So which you don't get during the game.
I know everyone always wants to get better, but how much of a jump or progress can a guy like Duran make in going into year 8?
It's funny that you brought him up, but I walked past him today. I said, man, you've had a remarkable offseason. And I felt that way through the drill work, through the skill. And everyone, you just see something that jumps out differently, that's onto a new space. And I felt that from him coming into this offseason. And I've certainly been impressed by what I've seen so far. In fact, it was literally today that I said, man, I've really been impressed by the work that you've put in this offseason. And I see it, happening out on the field.
A vet like Debo and a rookie, or not a rookie anymore, but a young guy like Mikey, they're working together after practice.
I think it probably speaks to like the environment that the players have created together. We all know, like to be at our best, it's going to take all of us improving. And if that's Mikey asking Debo a certain technique or vice versa, that's really where it takes place. And so we take these times on the field seriously, because it's not just.
So I like that Mikey and Debo had that clip after practice working on technique, especially on the releases. Because like Mikey sometimes, if Mikey can't sense a certain release, he doesn't react to it quick enough. So I do like the fact that he's attacking that weakness in his game and using Debo to help him do that. And Debo is probably looking to learn something from the young guy too. You know what I'm saying? Just because Mikey's a YN, that means he can't. That means Debo can't learn from him. Cause Debo like big bro, and he can't learn from me either. So, just because like I like comparing things to religion, but even in discipleship with us disciples, like a young disciple can teach an older one something too. Like we can disciple each other. It's the same on the football field that a younger player can help show an older player something, even when they've been in the league longer. I mean, they know everything. So I'm glad to see that the younger cats and the older cats are kind of, really trying to teach each other things and really help each other iron sharpens iron. So that's good to see.
The scheme, it's the individual skill work. If I can help isolate a specific route or a specific release or, Mike, in that instance of playing a certain coverage technique, it's one thing to know it on paper or another thing to be in the classroom. If we were all here together watching it on video, like we'd have an understanding of what a press technique, what a press corner is, but until you do it and what can I do? Where's my hands? How do I have to be placed exactly and be very specific? I think that's where the gold is. And that's why I think like the teaching this time of year has to shine on the coaches. And we've got some excellent ones because they'll get very specific on the certain techniques. Let's try that one again. Let's put the hand into this space. You're not in a rush to get to the next play or, you see, you guys are all here in season. There's jersey numbers on people and, okay, what are we gonna do with this person here? There's none of that now. And it's just on the skill. And so they're teaching, if they have to do it 4 or 5 times, that's okay. Because let's try that one again. Joe was working recently with just maybe 3 safeties or 2 safeties and 1 backer on press technique against a tight end. How do you do it? He's in line. And I thought that's a great isolation of just a few people on a specific skill. And if you magnify that by the whole group, then there's all these little pockets of things of skill development that's happening that's really important. And this is that time. And we learn a lot from the NBA of what that small group would look like of a specific 2 or 3 players getting better on something. And so
that's a good thing to see too, because like he said, like Dan Quinn said here, they're just working on skills right now. They're not hitting each other, not like 11 on 11, stuff like that. It's just small pockets of guys working on a weakness in their game they're trying to get better at. Like you said, with the press coverage on the tight end with a backer and a safety, that's huge. You know what I'm saying? Because that's going to happen in this division. You got Dallas Goedert in this division. You got a guy like Jake Ferguson in this division. You got a guy like Theo Johnson, who's an up and coming tight end in this league. So you want to make sure that you know how to press these tight ends at the line of scrimmage, and that you can break the time between the quarterback and the tight end. That's huge. Those little nuances in the game will cost you a game or win you a game.
So we work really hard at that specific thing, the work-ons.
Hey, Dan, just to stay on the Deron Payne topic, obviously every year you want there to be a level of urgency for all your guys, but for him at this point in his career, how important do you think this season is?
Like you said, that they're all big. I just sense there's a space when you can feel it. It's not something that we spoke about to go. Sometimes a marker happens and there's an urgent space to go and you want to jump into that space. Maybe it was where we think we can get to. You don't know what's different for him. It might be different from yours to Sam's to Nikki's, but once that fire's lit, man, you want to hit it. And I've really sensed that from him, the questions, the understanding of the defense, how good a shape he's in. So he's off to an excellent start.
And to stay on the line with Johnny Newton, he obviously had a full offseason this time as opposed to last year. How have you seen that impact him coming into this?
Yeah, probably the strength, I would say, Ben, because he wasn't probably able to do all the typical strength movements and that he had due to the foot injuries but I feel like his leg strength and that explosiveness, that's probably what I see the most, the twitch. He's always been a quick person, but now with all the power that goes with it, I do see an uptick in that.
Noah Brown told us after practice today he's feeling back to normal after that sounded like a scary, unusual injury last year. How has he bounced back?
Yeah, he's a really, really tough competitor, and we really missed Noah in some spaces. not, quote me exactly, but there was a lot of PIs against Noah. He's got such a unique ability to go up and contested plays and catches. And so there were 2 plays back to back of yesterday's practice of Noah competing against, you saw the length. And I loved seeing those small matchups on one catch of guys working their skills together. But the fact that we can put Noah in a lot of spots, and he's really, really dependable. So probably the thing that most everybody doesn't know is like, this is an elite competitor. And so he's got you would think it's a quiet demeanor, but it's a focused one.
Hey, good afternoon, Coach.
Good afternoon.
I know every player obviously has to deal with injuries and being banged up at some point in time, but with Quan kind of playing through the 2 shoulder injuries, kind of what did that teach you about him last year?
Yeah, I knew, obviously, like we were.
Quan's a tough cookie, by the way. 2 shoulder separations. He missed 1 game. Yes, shoulder separated twice. And he missed 1 game. That's a tough cookie, boy.
You guys saw we limited some in practice, but there was no chance like that he was missing. He is that competitor in that way. So going into the off season after the procedures, we were just not going to miss 1 step of his healing of that, all the way through. And so he's making great progress on that. But I knew he was a pretty rare competitor. Then you find out like, man, this guy is even tougher than you think. To have them both done at the same time. There were a few weeks apart, but you can imagine some of the challenges that go along with that when you have, 2 shoulders in the off season that you're not able to use at the same time. So I'll leave the space blank there and everybody can fill that in.
And then
a lot of love from,
Coach Witt spoke pretty highly about where he thinks Quan's ceiling, that's the word we like to use, right? Kind of get your thoughts on Quan's ceiling as well.
Yeah, the physical attributes we've always seen. It probably has, if not the highest vertical, but that type of explosiveness, the speed, how he can burst. And so I thought moving him from nickel to safety allowed some of that natural, playmaking ability to track, to come off the red line and to use some of that speed from the safety spot. He's certainly fast enough to play nickel, but I felt like that was the right call to move him into that spot. And so once I think he found his home there and all the unique, skills that he has to go. And so I think like, man, he's going like this. Now I have a whole season under his belt of playing safety. And now like, I think he's really going to take off. It's the speed and the hitting ability, and you can win with that.
We got to talk to Harris and Wise, and these are veteran players that just came here this offseason, and they both said the culture and the brotherhood is the reason why. What is it you guys do to get veteran players to kind of buy into that stuff right away?
I think first that's you give credit to Adam and his staff. They have such a unique understanding of what the team needs too. And we had said way back, hey, this isn't for everybody, but for the people that are so much about one another and getting better and doing those things, like those are important things to us. Like one of the main things for the players starting off to be here, like, can you be an awesome teammate, like top of the pile? Then it gets into like your role, what that can mean, how good can you get at these specific things? And then, we go from there. But it has to be, man, like being a great teammate first. And so like, yeah, no shit, Dan, like that's important for everybody. But how do you live that? And how do you demonstrate that? And how do you show that to one another? Because not everybody's outspoken or, not like giving each other greeting cards every day, but there's spaces that you fill in that you're helping one another, see how good you can get. And that to me is all part of it. I never wanted to be like having a good time and working your ass off to be in opposition of one another. Like I wanted those 2 things to happen simultaneously, like having a great time. And we were like absolutely emptying it out to go work hard. And so when I see practices like yesterday, like today, you probably didn't see as much of the speed. We had so much more in the red zone, but like yesterday it was speed, man. It was the Ashburn relays. We wanted to see how fast we could go without the contact, without that, but how fast we could go. And you push each other to do that. If you were running the route and I'm keeping up, like we are pushing each other, not in a combative way, but definitely in a competitive way. And I do think the players here have created that. Like, man, they do enjoy it. There's a good vibe that we have, but like we also put it in. And if you don't, you'll get exposed pretty quickly because the tempo of which we want to practice at is high. So like if you don't put in the work, it'll look rough for you.
It's a great answer. Thank you.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I just wanted a scheduling thing.
So I like what I heard from Dan Quinn. I might watch Joe Witt's presser tomorrow. My quick thoughts on the OTA recap for this week. I like the work that Mikey's putting in with Debo. I like what I've seen from Jaden. He threw some nice passes today. It was open and all that, but it is what it is. I like the work that Frankie Lou was doing as an edge rusher with Ryan Kerrigan. But he's going to get moved around a lot more this year. He's going to have a little bit more responsibility, so that's good to see. And I think the team overall had a good OTAs today. And I expect them to continue to progress and get ready for the season. And I expect this team to be a good football team. A lot of people think we're going to take a step back and all that, but I believe in this Washington Commanders football team. I think we can be very good this year. And I want to continue to see them progress into mandatory minicamp. Like, comment, subscribe. Love you guys. Okay, guys, tomorrow. And peace.